Hey, good morning, bakers. It's time to feed our starter again. Yes, hi, I'm Dal, and I am making a sourdough starter for the very first time. Not for me, for you. We had a lot of members on our Facebook group that absolutely struggled so hard and have given up so many times. And I just wanted to show you how simple and easy it could be. So I decided to do this little series on making your sourdough starter. It takes patience and perseverance. That's all. Just a little flour and water, and it just goes very quickly. But it does take about 2 weeks, so it's really annoying. You want to get in a hurry, and you can't. So this has been growing now for almost 24 hours. It grew a bit, you know, it's got some growth in there, but it's just not ready. It's quite bubbly. I don't know if you can see the inside or not, but it's pretty bubbly, but it's, today it doesn't smell nearly as bad as it did yesterday, and the second day it was just god-awful. It was really hideous. So we just need to keep feeding it. It will get there. Please be patient. I know it's hard. I know you want to start baking with it. In fact, I'll show you right now. When you're making an initial starter, the best way to know if it's ready to bake is do a float test. And I can guarantee you this is going to fall to the bottom of the jar, of the measuring cup. Of course, it's going to make a liar out of me. It's disintegrating. It's got I hate this. It is not ready, but it's floating. Shoot. But it's definitely not ready. If you tried to bake with it now, it would make a very flat loaf that wouldn't rise, that wouldn't have good flavor. So, yeah, this has happened to me before when I said it wouldn't float and then it did, but it's still not ready. You still have another at least 6 days of feeding it. Today is day 5, so we're getting there. All right, I've got my scale. I'm tearing it to 100. I'm adding 100 grams of water. Ooh, I just used my teaspoon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need another teaspoon for sure. I don't want to put that one in my clean water, and I have 104 grams, so I need to just take it down to 100. There we go. That's about right. You can come in, dear. My husband just come home from his walk. He's shy. He's not going to talk to you, but he can come in. Okay, 100 grams of water. Tear 75 grams of bread flour. Okay. And then 25 grams of whole wheat. To come up to 100. It's 100 on the nose. 100 grams, and then tear your scale and add 25 grams of this goop. And I call it goop because it is very goopy. I can't believe it floated. There we go. 25 grams. And then, same as yesterday, throw this away. It's done. Just get rid of it. There was a question that I keep getting asked on, I think the question was, how do you know if it's ready? Well, you've got to do this for at least a week. There's no way you can have it ready in less than a week, even if it floats. But the best way is when it rises to the very top of your jar, it's rounded on top, it's nice and bubbly. Rounded, make sure it's rounded. It can't start sinking back. If it starts to sink down, you have to feed it again and try the next day. But it has to rise up for at least 3 or 4 days in a row. It should rise up to the top of your jar. And if it's been doing that, then you want to let it rise one more time and just get to the top of the rise. Don't let it start sinking. And then do a flow test. And then if that's good, then you're going to take 25 grams out of here to make 11. And then you're going to cover this and you're going to put this in your fridge. And this is going to be your starter. And most people name them. Mine's Bready Prince, there's Doughboy, there's Jane Doe, there's all sorts of names. But that's your starter from now on. And you will take 25 grams out of it each time you want to bake. Or if you're going to use, make more, then you take 50 grams or something. But you always leave this in the fridge. You feed it about once a week. And let me get my own Bready Prince and show you. I keep this guy all the time, and I made him from this starter. I had about this much initially. I took 25 grams out, made 11 to bake bread, and then I put this in a bigger jar because you feed him. You have to feed your starter once in a while, about once a week or once every 10 days. You need to give him about 50, 75 grams, 100 grams of flour and a little bit of water and stir it all up. And so you have to feed him, and so it gets a little more and a little more. So I put it in a big jar. And when I made all of those loaves for my bread group to do the live feed, the demonstration of all the stages of making sourdough bread, I ended up making 10 loaves of bread. So take 25 grams times 10, that was a lot of my starter. So he was really low and I had to really give him a good feeding. But he stays in the fridge. He comes out an hour before I want to make 11 so that I can bake. And I let him come to room temperature. And then I take 25 grams. That's all I take. So he stays good and healthy and strong, and he smells so good. He's lovely. He's perfect. So that's where we're going. That's where all of this is leading to, is just getting to that perfect starter so that you have it at all times. You can make pancakes, biscuits, breads, all sorts of stuff. I usually just make bread. I like yeasted breads too, so I do like using active dry yeast for some breads. We're sort of purists. We love our sourdough for our toast and sandwiches these days. And I want sourdough for breakfast, and I can't make a sandwich loaf and have us eat it because we don't always have sandwiches every day, and we're not going to use the entire loaf before it goes bad. Everybody says, yeah, refrigerate it. Well, I'm somebody who doesn't like refrigerated bread. I like my bread soft and fresh, so I won't do it. I have a spill. Anyway, that's it. We're all done. We've fed today, and we're good to go. I took pictures last night, but it was only about the same height as it was this morning. It hadn't started to fall, nor had it grown any further from yesterday. So I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours. I'm going to put Bready Prince back in the fridge because he doesn't even need feeding. I fed him Saturday, I think, Saturday or Sunday. So he's good for a few more days at least. And we're done. Okay, if you have questions, put them in the comments below. Please subscribe if you want to watch these videos. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do the entire, we'll do from making your initial starter to making a leaven to making your bread, all the way through the bake. And then, I don't know. It depends on what people want. So this is it for today. Happy baking, and I'll see you tomorrow.